Hello, Grade 4s. I trust that you are all well. This week, Mrs. Mayo and I have combined English and history again. Over the last few weeks, you have learnt about two great leaders, Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi. Over the next couple of weeks, we are going to be exploring the story of Anne Frank at a very basic level. This week, I'm going to introduce Anne's story to you, and from next week, we'll start looking at the qualities that made her a great leader. Why Anne Frank? Well, Anne was 13 years old at the beginning of her story, which is close to the age that you are at the moment, and she was also in a situation that called for a lockdown. I'd like you to do this work over 4 days. On Monday, listen to me reading the story of Anne Frank. You can do this as many times as you wish. Tuesday, read the story of Anne Frank to an adult. Discuss any words that you don't understand. Remember that from this piece you are going to be doing a comprehension. So really have a good discussion with somebody and read it once or twice over and check that you really understand what the story is all about. On Wednesday, read the story of Anne Frank again and answer the comprehension questions on a piece of paper or at the back of your life skills book. Remember to give a heading and the date. On Thursday, complete the language tasks on slide 7 on a piece of paper or at the back of your life skills book. Remember to give a heading and the date. Your answers that you are looking for will come from Anne Frank's story. Anne Frank. Anne Frank was born in Frankfurt, Germany on 12th June 1929. Her parents were named Otto and Edith, and her elder sister was named Margot. Anne was passionate and vivacious. Growing up, she had many friends, and her early life in Germany was like that of any other child, going for family trips out to the seaside and riding her bike. In 1933, Adolf Hitler became the leader of Germany, and life for Anne was never the same again. As leader of the Nazi political party, Hitler despised Jews. He unfairly blamed them for many of Germany's problems. Jewish people were forced to wear a yellow star and were not allowed to own or run businesses. As a result, many Jews left Germany in search of a safer place to live. Anne and her family were Jewish, so they moved to Amsterdam in the Netherlands when she was just 4 years old. For a while, life seemed to be safe and normal again. With the outbreak of the Second World War in 1939, Anne's father feared the Nazis would invade the Netherlands. In 1940, that is exactly what happened. Despite this, Anne happily celebrated her 13th birthday and received a red journal that was to become a record of her experiences as a Jew in the Second World War. Anne loved to write, and, naming her journal Kitty, she began to do so every day. She wrote about her wish for the war to end and other hopes for the future. Otto Frank began to plan a safe hiding place for his family. He had a secret annex behind his office where his family could hide away from the Nazis, safe and unseen. After packing what they could, the family moved quickly to the small annex. They hid away for 2 years with the help of friends. Anne wrote in Kitty every day. In total, 8 people hid away in the annex. They had to be very quiet, walking barefoot and hanging heavy curtains at the windows. Anne described the family she lived with and often wrote about how tired she was of living in the cramped space. Just as news about the nearing end of the war reached the Franks, they were betrayed and the Nazis found their hiding place. In 1944, the families were arrested, split up, and sent to concentration camps. Anne was sent with Margot. In 1945, just a month before the end of the war, they died from a disease called typhus. Anne was just 15 years old. The only family member to survive was Otto Frank. When he returned to Amsterdam, he found Anne's journal. He decided to publish it, sharing Anne's personal thoughts and sufferings with the world. It has been read all over the world and is translated into 65 languages. Now you can take time just to read through the Anne Frank timeline, just to put everything into perspective and to see when she lived, when she was born, and when her father actually had her journal published.